Now we have a very special session with the amazing Mario Rodriguez here in the studio with me. If you have any questions for Mario, you can ask them in discussions at github.co/Mario or by tagging us on Twitter. Mario, thank you so much for joining me today. How are you?
Hi, I'm doing great. Thank you so much for having me here. Today is a very, very exciting day for the GitHub Issues team. We're going from a private beta to a public beta. And really, that starts a brand new chapter for us in learning with millions of developers out there.
Outstanding. And I'm pumped to hear about it and share it
with
everyone here. So I got a couple questions for you if you don't mind, just to kick this off. All right, first one. What sparked the investment into the new GitHub Issues?
Well, GitHub Issues is used by millions daily. And it's very simple. It's very fast. But because of that, it's actually really loved by developers. Yeah. At the same time, when we meet with customers, they let us know of 3 core problems they're having. Okay. Number one is we lack custom fields. So something as simple as, hey, I want to just add a priority, I want to end up adding an area, or just an estimate, becomes an exercise in label hacking, more or less. Number 2, it's really, really hard to understand at times what a team is doing, what a set of teams, so we don't scale very well on that end. And number 3 was hierarchy. So we kind of listened to that, and we really set out to build project planning for developers and really make GitHub Issues a lot more powerful. So to get you out of maybe multiple tools or spreadsheets, which people are using. Yeah. So you want me just to show you a couple of things?
No, I would love you to show me a couple.
All right, let's do it then. Let's do it. So I am here, and the first thing, I'm going to kind of go through the basics first of it, and then we'll get into at scale and really those kind of those questions maybe.
Jump in.
So here it is. It's at the organization level. This is Octo Academy. You saw that in the keynote most probably. And what you get is this project's beta. You can start a new project just by doing this. I'm just going to go into the one you saw in Octo Arcade Invaders. Remember? So here it is. So this is all the work that the Octo Arcade Invaders are doing. We have these custom fields, and there are really, if I go and say new field here, you're going to see 5 types of them. Text, number, so you can use number for estimates as an example. A date, so if you have a due date on something, you could also utilize it for that. Single select are, during the actual private beta, that's the one that people use the most. And then we just recently launched in the private beta iteration, so if you follow the changelog, you probably saw it right there. So in this case, we have set up, I'm just going to go into the settings really quick, and you can see I have a lot of areas: producers, engine, R, game loop, website, platform. I have releases like prototype, alpha, and beta. And, this team operates in cycles, so they also have a couple of cycles. Right now, they're in cycle 2 or iteration 2. So just going back to this, so not only do we have custom fields, and we kind of allow you to grow with that, we also have the ability to just put that in a table. And the information density of that is really astounding, right? So I don't have to have this spreadsheet that always has to be refreshing all the time. No need for that. You just can do a table view right here. Not only that, the same data, you could actually visualize it too in a board view, which is one of the things that we saw. So I just can go over here, and instead of stamped up this way, I just say board, and I want to add a couple of things over here. So maybe let's add the releases and the area, and now we have that. I'm going to save the view too, and this is one of our most popular features as well. So now, table view, great, amazing density. Boards, just like that.
Fantastic.
And look how fast this is to actually switch between them.
This is live, right?
This is live. We're not actually doing anything here. So another thing that was really great that we kind of showed is the ability to group by the data. So this is good, but what I really want to do is mainly see it maybe by, let's say, releases. And now I can see everything that got done in prototype, everything that is planned for alpha, and everything that is planned for beta. I could even kind of rank items. So if I want to say, just move this one over here, this one over here. Alpha gonna go should be the end thing, so this is wrong. There you go. So I could even re-rank items within it. So really, really powerful overall. The other thing that I wanted to show was kind of this hierarchy view, right? So I just clicked on an issue. This issue kind of has this thing now over here. I created a task list, and you can see one of 3 tasks that we're tracking. And there are 3 scopes. So if you think about there's a feature, you want to break down the feature into like scopes overall. You could do that. So you could just create the overall issue at the top, and then that's maybe your feature. And then as I have done over here, I created a task list for 3 of the scopes. I could convert any of these task list items into issues just by a click of a button. And
wow.
OK, this is live, this is live. There you go, boom. So I could even go into one of the scopes, and then what you're going to see is that not only have I completed all these items, but also you see this tracked in. That's the hierarchy and kind of the graph or multi-tree that we're building at the moment. Not only that, I could go into one of the tasks of that scope and then really see as well. So now I could go from, OK, why are we doing this task? I could go and say it's because of this item, number 53 over here. Oh, and why are we doing alien sprites? Well, it's because of this other item over here, which is create alien beam and canon sprite file. So you could kind of walk the hierarchy at any point in time. So it's kind of one. So I feel I'm on a roll. You want me to continue just showing you things?
I mean, if you're feeling it,
OK.
I got to, I mean,
let's do it.
Go for it.
Let's do it. So the other thing that I wanted to show is, so imagine, I kind of alluded that it was hard to understand what a team is doing or what multiple projects are doing. So one of the things that we have created over here is this Octo Arcade tracker. And now I can see across all of my teams what are they doing. I added different custom fields in this case. So my area now is every game my game company is producing. Progress is slightly different as well. And now I'm making use of that ship date.
Yeah.
So, and not only that, this expands repositories. You can see it right here. This is not just on one repo. This expands repositories.
Absolutely.
It's at the organization level. So that's that. Now, you know what? Like, I think this is all fine, but we're really not a game company. So what about showing them something like how GitHub really uses this?
Let's do it.
OK. So one of the features that we ended up doing, I think, at the beginning of the year was video upload support. And this just allows you to go into an issue or PR and just upload a video.
Oh, yeah, I remember.
That feature has taken off like crazy, especially in PRs.
Absolutely.
So the team at that moment that was using video upload ended up using the new projects to be able to track their work. And you would think video uploads is something simple. It's not. Like, let me just show you how many items we ended up tracking to do this.
Excuse me?
It was a very, very complicated feature.
You're still scrolling.
Yeah, I'm still scrolling.
Okay.
I'm going to go to, So, this was hard to do. And a task list or checklist won't actually allow you to do this,
too difficult.
right? Exactly. And you want to track all the metadata and all of those items. So what they did is they did actually have a couple of metadata. So they ended up using planning. So I'm just going to add it here really quick. And they ended up using milestones as well. You saw that refresh in real time.
Yeah.
And this kind of allows them to understand all of the work. And again, it's across many planning things that they had and also across many milestones as well. But this is one of the views that they created that I thought it was amazing. Like, this is plan by iteration. So now that the feature is done, now they were doing this every week, clearly. But now that the feature is done, if I ever have a question about how did video upload support ended up happening, I could even just utilize this and see it. Look, week of 11, 16, 20, they started implementing URL 404. Then they ended up doing ADRs and things like that. And then you just continues and continues and continues. So week by week, I could really understand what is happening over here. The other thing they did is they put all of the PRs in one of the views. And when I talked to them, the way they were using this is to understand, hey, what needed to actually be reviewed and just accelerate their review times overall. So I think it's amazing. Not only that, let me just go to all work. Another feature that I just love is Control K. I want to group by milestone really quick. And there you go. So here it is, GA and everything that went into GA, public beta, and our staff ship that is internal to us. So there you go. So now you could utilize what we're doing to track a feature, which is great. Here's another team that did the exact same thing. This is our automation or workflows feature.
Yes.
This is all the work that they're doing. Hi, team. Here's by milestones. So they kind of scoped the work into a set of milestones for them. And you could kind of see their exploration. M3, they started using this a little bit with PRs. So now not only can I see the issues that got resolved, I could end up seeing also the PRs that got resolved with it. So, et cetera, et cetera. So I think it's great. Another one that I really like over here, if we do area, Again, and they utilize a different area than the other ones. This is the power of custom fields. Like they live within here. You don't have to call an administrator or anything like that to be able to add a custom field to an item. And if, again, I just group by that area, then I could really see everything in UI, APIs, and our backend. So it's kind of evenly split overall in there. So features, you could track features with this. You could be very successful doing it. Before, we didn't have the power and the scale to be able to do that. Now we do. So give it a try for that. The second thing that I want to show you is bug backlog. So this is the real bug backlog that went into the universe ship that you just have on GitHub issues. So there's still some items in progress, as you can see, awaiting review as well. But we ended up, in a short period of 2 weeks, ended up resolving around 65 bugs overall, polished items. So not only can you use it to track features, you could also use it overall to track bugs and get a view of that.
That's fantastic.
But we're not done. It's just like it just keeps on giving. Let me show you one more, okay? And then we could probably just call it. So this is what I call the planning and tracking. We call it sometimes the epic tracker, but it really allows us to understand what is happening across the organization that we have. So we have a bunch of things that were happening for Universe 2021. This is it, and you could probably see over here, that's the project's automation that I just ended up mentioning to you. We're making use of assignees, progress. We have different fields as well. So not only can you track a feature, you could also end up tracking several features as well.
Absolutely.
And then really understand what is happening at that level. So, and the last thing, one of the things that I actually love is the teams internally are even using this for OKRs. I'm not going to click on any of these. Don't worry, teams, okay?
Don't.
But we're even using it inside of GitHub for OKRs.
Of course.
So there you go.
That's awesome. So today we announced an open beta of GitHub issues. So what are the things, I know you've mentioned a couple things, like what's maybe one or two things that you've learned during that private beta?
Yeah, that's a really good question. What I would say, we've been 4 months. We have lots of customers. We've kind of grown exponentially overall in there. And there's one core validation on it, which is, project tables are really powerful together with custom fields and overall the kind of the ability then to have these views that are for each perspective that you want to have. So that has been taken off like fire. So really on that. And then the second thing, which is more like, hey, what is it that we need to do going forward is, hey, this concept of hierarchy, great at the issue level and task list. People want that kind of infused now into project and boards as well. So we had like great validation, lots of people using the product at the moment, and at the same time, some things that we know we're going to have to really invest in the future as well.
So speaking of the future, I know a bunch of people are already starting to ask, but like, what are some things that our users can expect to happen over the next few quarters?
Okay. Yeah, definitely. So let me
tease out a little bit, just a little bit.
Okay. So number one, what I would say, and we could share my screen now. So we have a feature right now in alpha at the moment that is insights, and I love this feature. This is going to be one of the most powerful features actually coming in the next 6 months.
I love it.
So what you're seeing over here is I have a project. The project is collecting all of this data, or maybe I have a team and I want to set up a set of repos that feed into that team as well. And then I want to just ask questions and get insights from that. And what we want to do is just kind of bring the power of reporting into it. So we're starting with this one that we call burn up, or sometimes it's called CFD out there in the industry as well. You can see this is a real team inside of GitHub. This is real data by them as well. If I go to 3 months and it refresh, you could kind of see you get, so if we just do this, you could kind of get like a burn up at that moment. You can see kind of in progress and done and how the team has been doing so far on that. Another one, if we go back into the backlog and I do the exact same thing, you can see we use a lot of statuses in there too.
Yeah, one or two.
Yeah, just a couple of them. So again, you could go over here and do the exact same thing, maybe not in progress. But you could get a burn up as well. But we have a lot more that is coming. This is what really has me excited. The insights team at GitHub is really hard at work on this, and it's going to be amazing. So we have work in progress, we have bug trends, we have the ability to just get the data that we have in the actual project and then visualize it in lines, in bar charts, or even in area charts, so you can kind of see it in here. So that's kind of one that has me like really, really, really excited.
One more maybe?
Okay. One more maybe only. So there's there's a public roadmap for you to learn more about these things. So here's GitHub issues. You could kind of see all of them. But I want to leak a couple of things.
Oh,
okay?
So, that's on you.
Okay.
I'm out. I didn't force it.
So, this never been seen outside of GitHub, more or less. So here's normal project, normal view. But what about if you could actually see it as a timeline view?
Yeah.
And you could kind of lay out things there in a roadmap, through time in a time span overall.
Yeah.
Like, I think this is going to be huge. So that's another thing that you should expect coming. And then the last thing that I want to leak is really hierarchy coming into it.
Yeah.
To all of the customers giving us that feedback, we got your back on this. And we're going to be investing a lot on it as well. So there you go. So there's insights. There's a lot of other things that you can see in the GitHub roadmap as well. And then we got a timeline view and then also hierarchy on the next, on the burner.
I love it. I love it. So Mario, it looks like I'm not the only one interested in this because we've got a handful of questions, actually more than that. So I'm going to read a couple of these off if you don't mind answering them. Okay. All right. So this is from, again, I'm sorry for mispronouncing your handles. I will do my very best. L.Y. Becker. Can you show the issue task hierarchy relationship in the table or board view?
So we cannot yet,
Okay.
but this right here, if we show the screen again, this is what we're experimenting with. You can see, imagine this was kind of the feature, and these were the scopes, and then you're going to be able to do that. So that is, again, one of the features that we get asked a lot, and that's, higher in our backlog.
Sweet.
As part of the public beta.
All right. I got another one from you.
Let's do it.
From Bagat Ka. Again, apologies. The question is, looking through the repositories and their issues, is it possible to find a project for open source activity by using repo_URL/contribute? Is there any UI for that? It would be great to have a page with projects that can be interesting for you by filters containing good first issues.
Yeah, so I think that's a great idea. We have, by the way to give feedback on the product, we have a feedback discussion. So I think it's GitHub feedback, it's github.com/GitHub feedback. And then there's the discussions, and you can find GitHub issues there. Please put any type of thing that comes into your mind into it. We love engaging with our customers overall. But yeah, I think that's a great idea. We will invest more in the index pages that we have today overall. So my hope is to be able to just kind of demo it next time he asks. So.
All right, stay tuned, y'all. All right, next question from Scotes. Hi. Hello.
Hello.
Are new projects available to GitHub apps off instead of personal access tokens now?
Yes, it is. Starting, I think, today, if we already turned on the feature flags, you should be able to use it for GitHub apps as well. So give it a try. And again, if there's anything that you see that needs to be improved, please let us know. But it is.
There we go. Quick answer, quick question. All right, next one from Nick Sloan. Will you add a field to the GraphQL issue type to navigate from an issue backup to the new style projects then contain it?
Yeah, that seems, if we don't have it there already, then that seems like a great idea for us to add, for sure.
Great question. Look, you're giving feedback to the product manager, and you're already making changes. Thank you, Nick. All right, next. I'm going to butcher this one, too. Indiets. Will it be possible to have multi-line cards in new projects like we currently have in old projects?
That's a good one. That one I don't want to leak yet.
Okay.
So what I would say is we're kind of exploring different things in there to kind of take it to the next level on it. And I'm really excited. I just saw the team, the design team of GitHub Issues, extremely talented people, just sent me right before this keynote, sent me a mock of it, and I was kind of dancing and overall when I saw it. So really, really, really exciting.
All right. Well, after day one, you're gonna have to show me that. Okay. All right, one more. We got another one from Hants00. I noticed the new project type is currently only available for orgs or users, not repos. Are there any plans for when that might become available?
Yeah, so also in the roadmap, you will see it as one of the high kind of items in there in future that is ranked very, very high. So we have right now a little message on it, but yes, repository level projects and the ability to find them there is something that is coming as we continue on the beta.
Fantastic. All right, we've got one more question for you.
One more. Okay, let's do it.
From Argonaut. Will custom fields be available for pull requests as well as issues?
Ooh, that's a good one. I don't see why we cannot extend the metadata. In fact, today you could add, remember when I said that you could add PRs? Let's go back into this over here. you could add anything over here. So as a note, as an example, this is a note. So on that end, yes, you end up, you could add any metadata within the table. Then the real trick, in my opinion, is then start actually making that a more first-class citizen as you're interacting with the pull request. But I think, yeah, I think this is kind of a continuation of what we're doing for sure.
Fantastic. That's awesome. So for all of the people whose names I pronounce correctly and incorrectly, thank you so much for asking them. Keep those coming all day today and all day tomorrow. Because remember, you tell us, we get to ask the speakers here. So Mario, thank you so much for coming up here and talking to us today about GitHub issues. I really, really appreciate it.
Thank you, Jerry. Thanks for having me.